Hey guys, welcome to TPG's world. It's me, TPG. It is May the 4th, or as we call it, our Star Wars fans call it, May the 4th be with you. I got on my Baby Yoda Star Wars shirt, or had it on. It's Star Wars Day. If you're not familiar with that, May the 4th is May the 4th be with you, and Revenge of the 5th, which is Revenge of the Sith. So it's a Star Wars Day, but I wanted to tell you that as a vlogger, this video is going to be probably one of the saddest for me and weirdest, because today has been truly one of the most terrifying days that I've ever experienced in my lifetime. I truly don't know how to handle what happened, but I'm going to share that with you. But first I want to talk about something really exciting. So when I got to work this morning, one of my really good friends had bought me a gift, and I loved it. I was so excited about this. It is Dolly Parton's cake mix for her banana pudding cake. Look at it, comes with icing too, Dolly's buttercream icing, and I love Dolly, as you guys know. So I was very excited when I heard this came out, but I couldn't find it anywhere. But she found it at one of our local grocery stores. You see the recipes on the back. Doesn't it look good? I can't bake with this crap, but I'm going to ask somebody to bake this for me, and then I'm going to save the box, because originally this stuff was like $40 for the stuff, and I was like, I'm not paying $40 for a box of cake, but it ended up being like a little cheaper, I guess, now. But it was so nice that she bought it. So let's talk about that, because that's kind of important. So my day started off really good. I got up, I fed the dogs, I went through my routine, I took my medicine, I did all that crap that I do before, everything. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to, get ready to go to work. I took a shower, got in the car, got to work, and I had breakfast duty. So I'm sitting there, the kids are eating, we're talking, everything's cool, nothing out of the ordinary, nothing, is upsetting or anything. So I'm sitting in class, I'm doing my thing. And I had kind of a busy morning. Not, I won't say stressful, because there was no stress involved. It was a very busy morning, but it was, a normal day. And all of a sudden, I'm sitting there, and the teacher I work with, we were doing things a little different than our normal routine. We were letting the kids get on the computer in the morning rather than in the afternoon, because I think she had other things planned for the afternoon. It's kind of towards the end of the year, and I think, we're both like, okay, you've learned everything you can learn, so we're just kind of going to find what we can do. But anyway, it was a long story. But anyway, it was a lot of fun, and I was really excited about the day. So anyway, I was sitting at my desk, and my desk is in the back of the room, so it was very quiet, crazy. I was sitting there, and a couple kids had come up because they were having computer problems or whatever, and all of a sudden, my entire chest started to pound. It was like I literally could not breathe. It was like my heart felt like it was going to explode inside of my body. I could not breathe. I could not speak. The kids were just all up on me, and so I didn't know what was going on. I thought, oh God. So I finally looked at Miss Hollenquist, and I said, my chest is hurting really bad. And she's like, what? And she said, come here. And I went to her, and I said, my chest is pounding. She's like, oh my God, what is it? I said, I think it's a panic attack. And the teacher I work with, she said, well, go outside and let's see how it feels outside. So I went and sat on the bench. As soon as I sat down on the bench, it was already hot outside, but it was literally like my arm started having pains just shooting up my arm. And I thought, oh God, this is awful. Like, this is the worst one. If this is a panic attack, which I have not had big ones, big panic attacks in a long, long time. I have little small ones, but never humongous ones. I said, this one's horrible. So then when the pain started shooting up my arm, I said, I'm having a heart attack. I literally think I'm having a heart attack. So I tried to walk it off in the hallway for a few minutes. I'm like, and all I'm thinking, I'm getting myself more and more and more worked up, because I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm really literally having a heart attack. It wasn't subsiding. It wasn't getting any better. It was just getting worse. So I walked into the office to find the principal and everybody. Nobody was there. So I went back, and and finally I leaned up against the wall, and the janitor was standing beside me, and she's like, are you all right? And I said, I don't know. I think I might be having a heart attack. And she's like, let me go get somebody. And I'm like, no, please don't go. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, I don't have a heart attack. I don't want to die, whatever. And so finally one of the office ladies walked by, and she's like, are you okay? And I was like, no. And so I told her, so she's like, come on. So she took me to the nurse's office, and apparently by the time I got in the nurse's office, I was very red. I was as red as that shirt behind me right there, red as my headband. I was very red, and I went into the nurse's office, and they said I was clammy. So she's like, oh my God, we got to do something. So they take all my vitals, and apparently like my blood was okay, like my heart rate was good, my pulse was a little high. So they called an ambulance. My principal wanted them to call an ambulance, to instruct them to call an ambulance, because by this time no one knew. She didn't know. She said, I can't say you're not having a heart attack, because they react differently. We don't really know what's going on. So they called an EMT. EMT came, and they said that my heart rate was normal, my blood pressure was a little elevated. But once I sat down and I started like calming down from not trying to walk around and just be frenzied, I started to feel a little bit better in the chest area. So anyway, the EMTs got the first responders got there first, and so they took my blood sugar, which was a little high, but it wasn't anything abnormal. My blood pressure was also a little high, not super high, but a little high. It wasn't kind of like to be alarming or anything. Just a little high, and that was from the freaking out, I think, and everything. So then after that, it was like the EMTs came in, and when the EMTs got there, they did an EKG on me in the room. They literally like did an EKG on me, and that was very terrifying because I thought, oh shit, this is real. This is real. Like, I could be dying here. Well, by this time I'm like, I'm not going to the hospital. I'm not going to the hospital because I don't need to go. This is just a panic attack. And I started explaining to them that I have panic attacks and all this stuff. So they took my blood pressure. So the guy, the EMT that was with me, he said, I've been sitting here 10 minutes. Your blood pressure's gone back to normal in 10 minutes. But once I was calm, I felt really okay. Not totally okay, but I felt okay a little bit. So I knew that I just need to get, unworked up, and I needed to just concentrate, and I was like, I'm going to go. So anyway, I refused treatment as far as them taking me to the hospital because, guys, seriously, like when I went to the hospital last time, I was in like 14 hours, and I just was not in the mood to lay in the hospital all night long and all day long. I just didn't want to do that. I knew I said, I see my therapist today. I'm sorry, guys, this has left me so drained. I'm going to get to that in a minute. So I knew I said, I see my therapist today. I can go see her. I'll get the doctor to prescribe me some medicine for anxiety and stuff. Now, here's the thing. I've had mild panic attacks. And, when we wore the mask, I had them, but not in this dimension. Like, I've only had a few that are this bad. This is absolutely worse. My chest is still hurting a little bit. My arm is still sore, and like I'm so tired. I feel like I've been hit by a car. Like literally, like I am so worn out and so tired. I could go to sleep right now. It's like 9 o'clock, but I'm not going to. But I'm just saying that I'm gonna go to bed here in a minute. But I've been drained. Well, anyway, so after this was over, after the ambulance leaves and everything, I just kept saying, please don't let the kids see this. My teacher came down. She's worried. She's talking about it. I went back to class, and she told me, you need to go home. And I was like, no, I'm fine. And she kept saying, take your time, go home. And I was like, no. And I just want, so finally I was like, I'm just going to go. I had not ate yet, and they had a big dinner for us at school today for Teachers Appreciation Week. So I went in there and got some food and kind of sat it while they were at recess, and she took them outside. I was kind of sitting there just chilling. And then we have a place in our school called the Hollow, which is because we're owls, and the Hollow was a place where you go and you kind of just sit and you relax and you just can kind of chill a little bit. And so I went in there and I sat for a minute. Well, then they had to go in there and get testing. So I said, I left out there and I said, I'm going to go sit in the library with my friends, the benefit the lady who gave me the cake mix. And so I sat in there and kind of calmed down. And once I was calm, I was okay. So I really didn't want to go home. So my principal came by and she's like, what are you doing? Why are you here? And I was like, I'm fine. I'm going to stay, whatever. I don't want to go home. And so to get through the day, I just want the kids here. I didn't want any alarm. Like, I don't like people to make a big fuss over me or anything like that. That's just not who I am as a person. That's not what I want in life. That's just not how I work. So I was like, oh God, I don't want any of this happening to me. So anyway, she come back about 10 minutes later. This time, it's been about an hour and a half now. It's like 1 o'clock almost 2, maybe 1 o'clock, 1:30. So I'm pretty much time to go home in a little while anyway. So she comes in and she's like, I talked to the school nurse and she said that the EMTs and she recommended that you go home, and you should have already been gone like hours ago. So she's like, you're going home, and she said, she's like, so go home. So I went home. I came home. I relaxed on the couch. I kind of just chilled. I've been so exhausted. Actually, I came home, relaxed, I went to see my therapist, and then I had like this big major incident. Sorry guys, my dog just unplugged my light. Get down, Lulu, move, baby, unplug my light. I'm trying to talk to you. I'm talk. Girl, just unplug my light, girl. Hold it, guys. She messed up my light. What you do to my light, girl? Hold on, she just messed up my ring light. Lulu, there we go. So anyway, I was like, okay, I'm sorry guys, I lost my train of thought. Yeah. So I had the big thing I had to go take care of on the way there, and everything was kind of crazy. And so I got to my therapist and I talked to her, and it was just crazy. And then I had to go to Target and make sure that I put in for my vacation for next week, because I start tech week for my play next week. And that's funny, it's like my play's going good, everything's good. I've just had some stressful things, financially. I'm going through a lot financially. I've talked about that a lot, and I will get myself out of it. I just gotta take my time, get these things paid off, get things taken care of, and I will eventually work my way through it, and it'll work itself out. I said, but eventually that's just gonna have to happen on its own. I do, after next week, I'll be able to go back to work at Target a little more like I was going to. I'll know about summer school. So God has a way of providing things. God has a way of putting things out there for us. We just have to sometimes reach for them. And I know not everyone's religious or anything, and I share my faith, and people know that I believe in God, and I have a religion and certain things I believe in. I actually had this talk with my therapist today, but I don't want to push religion on anybody, so I don't talk a lot about it in my videos, but I do think that God will provide for us. God will always pull us through. All you gotta do is ask. I don't believe that you have to go to church all the time and that kind of thing, and I have a real problem with fundamentalist Christians and things like that, but I do have to say that I really believe today, had the school nurse and other people not saved me, not helped me, I think I would have probably died or felt like I was going to die. It was the scariest, most terrifying thing to this day, that literally thought that I was having a heart attack. And that's like one of my biggest fears, is to have a heart attack. Because my dad had one and my mom had one, both around the same age, in their 50s, which I'm in my 50s, so therefore it was like really crazy. But I do have to end this on a funny note, because I like comedy. First of all, don't forget to get your Dolly Parton cake mix. Banana pudding. Love you, Dolly. I was like, what would Dolly do? She would go to the hospital. But anyway, so I was just going to tell you, so I went to pay taxes today on my house, and the lady, I had to go, I found out it was like really high, my taxes were crazy, and I found out that there's some kind of credit I have never applied for that I could have got, and hopefully she's thinking that they might back pay me. The lady that I paid the taxes, she said she wasn't sure, but if I qualified, maybe. She didn't know all the details, but she told me to apply for it. So I went to apply for it, and I was running late, so I'm like, I'll come back tomorrow. And the lady is a beautiful African-American lady, older African-American lady, and she stopped me. She said, has anyone ever told you that you look like the food guy? Well, of course they're talking about Guy Fieri. I hear it every day. I'm like, yes, ma'am, I get told every day. She's like, I've literally been flipping since you walked past the window. She's like, because I was telling them, oh my God, we've got a celebrity in the building. That's the guy from the food show. And I was like, no, it's not me. I wouldn't be an agent. And I was like, no. But thank you. I appreciate it. And I was like, she's like, oh my God, you look just like him. And I find that so funny, because I don't feel like I look like Guy Fieri, but I get told this like all the time from little kids that come into Target. Usually it's you look like the fat food guy, but she called me the guy from Dives Dinner and Dives and whatever some show's called. The lady actually called it my name. And she's like, oh my God, I was really figuring out you're a celebrity. So that was kind of a high point of the day. But when I got done, I'm home now, I'm resting. I'm very, very weak. I feel incredibly, incredibly weak. But I'm going to just finish this video. I tell you guys, I love you. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for being with me during this roughest time. For those of you that stick up for me and have stuck by me, thank you so much. To my friend Jackie, I know I don't talk to you a lot, but I love you. I watch your videos. To my friend Tammy, I still watch your videos. I love you so much. You're amazing to me. To somebody who's been a hero to me this year, Carol, thank you so much, Carol, for being a friend and for being a hero to me. To Michelle, who's also been a hero to me this year, thank you so much. Y'all know how you've been heroes to me. Also to anyone else out there, Debbie, who's been a wonderful thing, to do one of the most best things for me this year, as far as like my birthday and stuff like that. Like everybody that's just reached out to me and had this incredible year through this bad depression and stuff like that. I'm doing better. My therapist is getting me on anxiety medicine as soon as possible, but I'm feeling okay tonight. I just want to get off of here and go to bed. So I love you guys, and remember that hating is a disease, and some folks need to get well soon, and I will see you soon. Remember to be kind, guys. It's one thing you can do in your life that's free. Okay, I love you. Bye.